Hello and welcome to Session 18 of Primordial Harmony, a heavily modified run-through of Wizards of the Coast's D&D adventure, Princes of the Apocalypse. I'm your DM, Mike, and today I'm joined by...
Hey, I'm Nyx. I play Ilaria. She's a Wood Elf Ranger who's got the trusty sidekick Panther named Laura.
And I am Kitties, and I play a gnome bard named Hum.
And I am Justin, and I play Zachary Vitalis, Fire Genasi fighter, who had recently found his family.
We're a little short-staffed tonight. We are missing Tadias, our Azamar Seeker, and Brittany playing our Tiefling Monk, Peril. We have some unfortunate news. Brittany is going to have to leave the game due to school and the inopportune time slot we have in the evenings. But it is just the way things go. Life is life. No ill will or anything. So.
We're gonna miss you, Brittany.
Absolutely.
Miss you.
Who wants to do a recap? Because I didn't write anything this week.
Well, I can do when it's gonna be rough, though.
Sure. I'll fill in the blanks.
The last time we were with our heroes, they made it to the keep and battled Yoliver, killed him, and were able to retrieve not only Zachriel's wife, but his daughter. They found a group of individuals in other rooms that had been enslaved and decided that they were going to try to bring some of them back. And we battled our way out of the building through some of what was left of Yoliver's group, and we found out about a man named, I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Drosnin, a priest of the Crushing cult, or the Crushing Wave cult.
And so I'm not sure what everybody else is doing, but Hum's kind of looking around to see if he's still on the island. And we battled a huge crustacean called a chul, and we killed him pretty swiftly. And that's where we left off.
Action economy. So to fill in some blanks, you guys were trying to get all of these people off of the island with you. However, you had found another important detail is that the island was mostly deserted except for that group that you massacred that were still loyal to Yoliver. And you found that they or other members of the cult had broken open the water elemental propulsor on your boat, freeing the water elemental inside. However, fortunately, you had kept Squirt, the young water elemental, with you, and he volunteered to serve in that place, powering the propulsor of the boat. However, it was not big enough to carry you and all of those people. Tadias had his familiar search around the island. Didn't come up with much, except he found a small warren of caves underneath the island and found boats there. Not boats that were powered by water elementals, but by just regular boats. Let's see, you also did kill that troll.
Yes, we killed the chul.
And you were looking for another way into that warren because there's an iron gate that blocked off the way in via boat. That was locked. So let me bring you to the map, and let me make sure that the stream is catching this.
Were we still going to have a crawfish boil?
I believe we had also learned of a attack on Rolid that was delayed.
Oh, yes. You learned from the people that were captured that Drossen had a plan to wage an attack on the city of Rolid on the coast, and was mostly stopped because of some sort of politics within the cult that gave Yolliver a higher rank, and Yolliver used that to enact his vendetta against Zachriel. Well, with Yolliver out of the way, it seems that Drossen has taken men loyal to him and has run to... Why is that there? Oh, the dynamic lighting. Has taken men loyal to him and seems to have made a break for it with a force headed toward Rolid. And at this point, you're not sure how you can transport these people. That's what you were doing, searching around the island for a way down into... or a way to open the gate.
I don't remember the Rolid thing. I must not have been paying very close attention. Sorry.
I don't remember that part either.
Fortunately, Zachriel's mind is a steel trap.
So
Did it snap?
Hmm?
I said, did it snap?
Yes.
As you guys are looking at this floating crustacean freshly killed, wondering if you're going to enact a crab boil, you hear a commotion coming from the keep. You hear shouts and what sounds like a crashing sound. And Justin, can you do me a favor? Can you roll initiative for Floriana?
I can. Second. I can't see your token.
That's okay. I'll take care of it. Roll an attack with Shocking Grasp.
All right.
You all hear this commotion. What do you do?
Start running towards it.
All right.
Absolutely.
You guys get to or do you, which way do you go? Do you go through? Oops. Do you go through
Where's the sound coming from?
the keep, or not the keep? The Great Hall. This whole place is the keep. The Great Hall is this way.
Zachriel would run the only way he knows, so he would dash around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follows suit.
You guys get to hear. Roll damage, please.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to move us, or should we move ourselves?
Move yourselves.
Oh, to the X?
Yeah.
Dynamic lighting got us.
Oh, it did. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just... There you go. Floriana takes 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Roll an attack for her as you guys burst into the Great Hall.
Ooh!
All right. So as you get in there, you hear a body slump to the ground, and you see Sihara in the corner of the Great Hall. Sorry, I'm moving your token. You should be moving your token. Actually, no. You hear her sort of, Zachriel. You can hear the sound of your child whimpering in fear over here, and the door kind of opens, and Floriana comes out, and looks like she's got a bit of a scratch on her shoulder, and she's sort of dragging behind her one of the persons that you have come to learn was a person that wanted to join the cult.
A loyalist.
A loyalist, yes. And he is sort of... She's got him by the back of the shirt, and she's sort of dragging him, and she looks up and sees the party rush in, and she says, "Don't worry, I took care of it." And she kind of like holds her shoulder, and she just kind of drops him, and you see the loyalist sort of just shaking, and you can see like lightning crackling around him. She just kind of like sets him down, and goes over to Sihara, and she's like, "It's okay, sweetie," and she picks up Sihara, who proceeds to just bury her face into her mother's shoulder, and she gives a sigh, and she says, "He shouted something and started attacking, and well, what else could I have done?"
I'm just glad you're safe.
Yeah. Me too. I think I'll be able to keep myself safer than before. She gives you a smile.
Yeah, something strange has happened to you. When did this happen?
When...
You know what? Maybe we should wait. We have pressing matters. We need to get out of here.
You're right.
Maybe we should just kill the rest of the loyalists.
I don't disagree with you.
I say we take him out of the building and where Ciara won't see it and just do it.
Well, they want to be part of the wave so bad.
They can see what's going to happen to the wave.
All right. So, the other 5 that are innocent, they don't make any protest as you easily take out the other 2 loyalists. Where do you do the deed?
We're going to take him out to the square where we killed others. I don't want Sihara to see that.
Okay.
I was
Why
just
don't we
thinking
go
about...
into the room that the bodies are piled up in?
I was just thinking about tying them up and dropping them in the ocean. Since they want to be with the waves.
So as you're starting to drag them out, one of the loyalists, who you've come to know as Gorm, you're dragging him sort of out of the room. And I assume you're sort of discussing this out loud. And
yes,
you're dragging him, and he's like, no, wait! I know a way down.
Kill the other one. Let's take this one and see if he can actually help us.
And the other one just kind of screams as you go ahead and do him in. And he says, in the quarters, there's a secret door hidden in the wall.
You'll just bring us there.
Okay. And then he oh boy. There he is. Okay, so this is him. So he's just like, okay, and he points like this way, and you lead him to, or he leads you like this door. And then, I think you guys have already opened this door, no?
Yes.
Yes.
So he leads you in, and then he kind of comes over to here, and then he says, it's right here, and he kind of like feels along the wall, and you see his fingertips sort of dig into a small crevice in the flush of the wall, and he kind of pushes in, and you hear, and then the whole thing just opens up to you, and you see these stairs leading down.
Okay, we're gonna kill him, right?
You go first.
Okay. And so you guys are gonna like kind of push him down the stairs. Not well. I mean, you could, but I mean, you're just gonna like have him in front of you as you're going down the stairs.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is Zachariel going with them?
Yeah, definitely would be.
Okay. Can you guys
He was
group your tokens for me?
just tending to his
Bye, Tadias and Cariho.
memory.
Oh, you're gonna do it. Okay.
I got him. I'm sorry. What did you say, Justin?
He was just tending.
Okay.
Cut.
And shift ping and stream. Okay. So you guys get down here to what looks like this landing, and there are these canoes that are sort of tied up against it, and however, you're still painfully aware that the gate isn't open, and there doesn't seem to be a feasible way to get these canoes out or through the gate. And
How do we open the gate?
as you're sort of thinking about that, you look, or actually Illyria would notice this first because she has the highest passive perception. She notices these she looks at the water, and she can't help but notice these strange snowflake-looking shapes, obviously frozen crystallized water, forming at the stairwell right here. And then they sort of back up a bit to here, and sort of emerging out of the water, you see this guy. Let me do some zoom in on the stream. He is wearing... he looks like a high elf with very, very, very light blonde hair, and he is wearing a sort of just a very light blue vest and these white trousers. And you see that he's sort of surrounded by this, his whole body is like encased in ice slightly, similar to the ice armor that hurt you whenever you dealt damage with melee attacks to those Fathomer people. And he sort of rises out of the water, and he just kind of looks at the party, and he kind of narrows his eyes, and he says, "Who are you lot?" And he gives this cold and dispassionate look at the group.
We're the new owners of the keep.
Are you? What happened to what was his name? Yolliver.
He's dead.
Settled
Oh,
a grudge.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I settled a grudge.
Oh, he's known to have vendettas.
Well, he
Interesting.
was after me, so
Interesting. Well, what are you doing down here?
we're looking for boats.
He kind of just like gestures to the boat slowly.
Well, your iron gate is kind of in the way.
Oh, that gate. I have the key.
Oh,
What are you doing down here, by the way?
Just... He kind of looks at his hands. Messing around. And then,
What?
he,
What?
and he just kind of like points to... He just
that
points...
was Spectral.
Sure. He points to like the... You can't get a good read on this guy. He points to a section of water, and it just freezes before your very eyes. Yeah. Just playing around.
Sir, will you let us pass?
Oh, the key? I'll give it to you if you give me someone to freeze.
Sure.
Here,
I
take
push
this guy.
guy forward.
He... Oh wow, this is actually working out really well. Awesome. The guy's like, me? No, I helped you. and you sort of watch as so for illustration, you push him forward, and you watch as he's walking on the water. I should have mentioned that explicitly. He's walking on the water, and the ice and the water is freezing beneath his feet. He walks toward the person. He says, "This guy here?"
Yep, he's yours.
He kind of nods his head. All right, and the guy's just like, "No, please don't touch me!" And he just kind of like reaches his hand out, and then he's just the Gorm's eyes are full of terror, and he's just like, "No!" And then and he just is frozen in this position of screaming. And then he just kind of looks him over and says, "Awesome." And then he fishes in a pocket in his trousers, and he produces an iron key, and he says, "Here you go." And then he just sort of tosses it, and somebody catches it.
Mm-hmm.
Who catches it? I'm just curious.
Zachariel.
Zachariel just kind of catches it out of the air. And he just kind of looks at the party and says, "You lot are interesting. Hope to see you later." And he's just...
Zachariel would just say, "You're pretty interesting, too."
He just flicks Gorm's frozen forehead, and his body kind of falls against the steps, and it just shatters. And then the person in front of you just kind of gives a cold chuckle, and he says, "I'll see you around." And he turns, and you watch as he just sort of like raises his hands, and still standing on the water, he makes a motion like he's swimming. He does like a breaststroke, and this powerful gust of air just starts blowing behind him, and he just kind of glides over the water with the ice forming beneath him, and he disappears into the darkness.
Well, that was weird.
Do we really want to meet him later?
He doesn't seem to have any loyalties.
I don't think we have a choice. He seems powerful.
Let's always keep somebody we can give him.
Sounds good.
So you have the key.
All right. Do we remember seeing a lock on the front, or?
You remember seeing a lock on the front, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a bitch to get to, but it's no problem. You guys are able to... Sorry, let me drag your tokens. Shift ping! You guys are able to work it out, and I assume you grab one of those boats, and it's enough to fit all of those people.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Looking out over the walls of the keep as we're trying to get out of here, does it look like the fog has dispersed?
Looks like in the dark, it's hard to tell. Because the sun has gone down. There's a little bit of light left, but it doesn't seem to be enough to elucidate if the fog has thinned at all. You can see some fog, but you aren't sure if it's like super thick or not. But you do know what direction you need to go.
All right.
So the question becomes, do we leave tonight and try to get to Rolid to warn them, or do we leave tomorrow morning when we have a better chance of being able to see?
Well, I have a feeling that if there is an attack happening at Rolid, it's probably happening now. Soon.
So
Probably don't have the time to wait. Plus, I'm sure these prisoners will want to get back to their families.
Now, this was a really long ride in, right?
It was pretty long. It took all day, but part of it was because you
Battled our way in.
Well, also Tadias slowed down because of the fog. But now that you know where you're going, you can probably kick it into high gear.
Will we be able to count our boat ride as a short rest?
Yep.
Or is that okay?
Yep. absolutely. There's enough time to where everybody can take a short rest in shifts if they have to.
I mean, the boat will be going slower anyway. I assume we're small, and we're probably going to be towing one of the other boats out over the rough
But
water.
they said the smaller elementals were more powerful.
Oh, well, there you go.
Not that they were more
Maybe.
powerful, but that they were. No, that's not what it was. They weren't more powerful. They were older
Older, that's right.
in
The
age.
the larger ones were younger, right? And more powerful.
Yeah. No. The smaller ones were just older by age, but he didn't give you any. When you talked to Kalazan about this, he didn't give you any indication on whether they were more powerful or not. Just that they were older.
Okay.
So,
Should we hop in the boat?
you guys hop in the boat.
Get everyone in?
So it's easy work. You don't have to move your tokens. Everybody kind of gets hopped in.
Why is Gorm with us?
Oh, because I copied his token. He's ice. He's shattered ice.
I kind of see a smiley face in the terrain there.
What? Oh yeah.
Oh God, Earth Elemental.
Okay. I didn't expect that to go that fast.
There's a lot less of us, though.
Mm-hmm. Which is sort of a good thing, but okay.
And
Are you
Hum's
moving
being
us
a
into
little
the boat, or should
cutthroat.
we?
Hmm?
Go ahead, kitties.
Oh, I just said, and Hum's being a little cutthroat tonight. She's not thinking about things. She's just doing.
It's been a long day.
You know, pardon the pun, but did you get the chills from that guy?
Oh my.
He struck me a little icy, yes.
Justin, you're a dirty, rotten liar. Mister, I hate puns.
I do hate puns.
Liar!
Sometimes they're just too good. Like hate so good.
I just kind of drop an opportunity into your lap and you take it.
Can't handle leaving the low-hanging fruit alone.
Yeah, it's temptation is just too much for me.
Okay. So, on the boat ride, you notice that the fog has lessened significantly. It hasn't gone away entirely, but you can see much farther ahead of you than before, and you can see the sky above you. The stars start to come out as you leave the island behind you.
Is the water calmer?
The water is a little bit calmer, and as you make distance between yourselves and the island, you notice that the waters start to get calmer. Considering, I'm gonna shift ping for the stream, and then I'm gonna make sure that the stream sees. So you begin to make your way back toward the coast, and during that ride, Zachariel, you see, actually everybody overseas, but Zachariel, you're probably paying more attention to this because it's Floriana making conversation with one of the women from Rolid, who you've come to learn whose name is Naireen. And you can see them sort of getting along swimmingly. Not to bring it back.
Jesus. We're going to touch all the low-hanging fruit tonight.
All the low-hanging fruits.
Zachariel is, I wouldn't say he's like taking notice of the conversation, but he's definitely looking at her the whole time back. Not like in like a creepy way, just can't believe that he's back. Like, can't believe it's not butter.
The entire ride, Sihara is in your lap if you're not piloting the boat.
Hum kind of settles next to Zachariel and says, you have a family living in your house. Where are you going to go?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Haven't thought that one through yet.
I hear a whole island just opened up.
Right?
Floriana sort of overhears this. Actually, two NPCs interact. One of them's Floriana. She kind of overhears the comment about you have a family living in your house, and she just kind of looks over and she's like, "What? What do you mean there's a family living in our house?
Oh, it's a work issue.
Did you sell the place?"
No, there was a family displaced because some way shields went rogue, and they didn't have anywhere to stay, and I offered them to stay at our place until I found you, but...
Don't forget to tell her about Dante.
Oh yeah, and a dog.
Sihara, you have a dog!
Her eyes kind of like light up when you say that, and she says, "A puppy?"
We gave that dog to the boy.
We'll get her a new one.
And then she kind of looks at her mother and she says, "Mom, we got a dog!" And then Floriana kind of hears your what Zachariel said, and she kind of looks at Sihara, and she looks at Zachariel, and she kind of leans in and kind of says lowly in his ear, "We'll get her a puppy."
Okay.
Yay!
And then when you make the comment about a whole island is opened up, one of the other sorry, their names are not on this page. The human woman Anya speaks up, and she says, "No, it's not. It won't be vacant for long. People come from underneath the island in that tunnel, that underground river. There has to be more down there."
So there's a secret entrance?
No, they.
Well, I also... Go
Or
ahead.
they just kind of live down there?
I don't know. But I've seen one. I think that's their leader. I've seen him once. He's come out. He has these barnacles all over his face.
Do you remember a name?
They called him Gar. And I think I overheard a last name too. Gar Shatterkeel.
Say that again.
Gar Shatterkeel. Do you want me to put it in the chat?
Yes, please.
Okie doke.
I also don't think that my wife and child want to go back to an island where they were held prisoner. Listen, we'll figure something out. I'll speak to Gordon, and maybe we can get the other family somewhere to stay, or you can help them, Floriana, with your newfound abilities. That's strange, wonderful.
She, sorry, stand by. She, whoa. Okay. She says, "Oh, I'd be happy to help them. I'm not entirely sure how. We'll think of something for them." Hey, no, never mind. Anything else I wanted to cover? Oh, and you overhear from Floriana and Naireen's conversation that Naireen has family back in Rolid. Specifically, a young child. So they connect very, very fiercely. I'm kind of opening the floor if anybody wants to engage further.
So you have a child?
Yes. When I was walking through, well, to explain, I was walking through the streets at night after my shift at the Sea Leaf, and someone tackled me, and the next thing I knew, I was on a boat heading away from the coast. And I don't know what happened to my daughter. I hope she's still there. I hope she's still safe. I'm all she had.
Well, you have my word that we'll find her, wherever she is.
Can you think of a place where she might have been?
Well,
Might
at
have
home.
went?
Well, at home. At home, but I know I'm the only one with her. She's a young child, only about the same age as Sihara here.
So no one else.
Stop. We should go to your home.
I'd appreciate that. I mean, I'll be going there myself.
Well, we'll make sure no one tackles you on the way.
She kind of gives a chuckle. So, if nothing else, you guys will begin to approach the coast.
So unless Rolid's on fire, I assume we're going right towards where we launched the boat.
Is that where you're going? Okay. So... Hold on,
She said we're going to hit Rolid.
Well, I mean, I assume you're headed toward Rolid.
That's where we're headed, yes.
So as you approach the city, you see, at first, because how dark it is, it seems like there are torchlights. But as you get closer, you notice that one of them's a little bit too big to be torchlight. So you sort of approach and you go toward the boat landing where Lanad helped you off. Yes.
Oh dear, that light is not looking good.
Unless, I assume that's like where the dock area is, so...
It's not, and as you get closer, it looks like it's more in the center of town. From where you are, it's either some fire on the town hall / keep, or the actually it's either the town hall / keep, the rich district, or the pier. That's the big pier with the restaurant or the food stands and the booze. But as you sort of get closer, you realize that it's not the pier. You make landfall, and oops, not that one. Okay, that one. So you make landfall, and you see in sort of the dark, because it's dim light. You get to where the docks are, and you see a small figure that you recognize to be a halfling. Looks like they're engaged with two. It's a halfling, and it looks like two human spearmen who you recognize are probably town watchmen guards, fighting these other humanoids that, as you get closer, you recognize them to be initiates of the cult of the Crushing Wave. So you make landfall, and I assume you kind of get off the boat, tie it to the pier.
Yeah,
Of course.
Okay, so you tie it to the pier, taking just a couple seconds, and as you run to help, the last one of them, they're just fighting two of them, falls, and they look around, and the two humans level their spears at you, and the halfling turns around, and you recognize it's Lanad. And he sees you all approaching. By the way, what do you say to the innocent people that you're taking here? You tell them to stay in the boat? What do you do with them?
Find somewhere safe.
Well, I would tell them to stay close and lead them towards Lanad's
Shed? Or
warehouse.
Warehouse, yeah. Okay. So they all kind of get out of the boat. They're all kind of being cautious, looking around. You hear commotion coming from all different directions as Lanad sort of turns to you, and he says, "Oh, thank God you're back." He says, about 10 minutes ago, all of these boats just made landfall, and those cultists you were talking about seem to spring and attack on the city. And he says, I've had my hands full with these guys, but a bigger group of the rotten fools broke off and ran to the market district. And there suddenly you hear this sound of wood crashing and very, very distinctly loud sound of rushing water. He says, "Are they attacking the keep?" He looks he sort of looks in the direction of the keep, and your attention is drawn in that direction too, and it's at least to Illyria and in some way to the rest of the group that there's a big commotion going on over there as well. You see Lanad just sort of run his fingers through his hair, and he says, "They're all over the place. We need to stop them."
All right, Lanad. We have these civilians. We need to get them inside your warehouse for safety. The keep is well guarded for sure, so we should work our way in towards the keep. Where do you want us to go?
He says,
"We're here to help."
He says, well, the keep is well guarded, yes, but they came in force. There's a lot of them.
How many men do you have, Lanad?
Well, we have some of our Laskir gents around town, but I don't think they're going to be enough, and I know for a fact that they're going to hurt innocent people, and you hear sort of a scream and a clatter of spears and such. He says, I hate to say this, but we're going to need help all over, or something. And it's at this moment that I would like to take you to the Rolid map page. It's a shame that we don't have the entire party, but we'll just have to play this out. Welcome to Mike's Skill Challenges. So here's the deal. The skill challenge is pretty much a giant encounter, but run through using skills and attack rolls. So the way this works is that there's going to be 3 rounds where each of you can, and by each of you I mean the 5 player characters, so we're just going to have to figure out who decides what resources to use, are going to roll skill checks or attack rolls to meet a certain DC. There's going to be parameters for success and failure, and in this case there's going to be 2 sites, two places you can direct your efforts. One of them is going to be the keep, and one of them is going to be the surrounding area, the market district, the working poor district, is that what I call it? Residential district. So this is one of the one times where I'm going to say it's not going to screw you to split the party. In fact, it's probably recommended. So what's going to happen is when you decide who's going where, we're going to just pick a random order. It doesn't matter too much. And when it's your turn to roll a skill, depending on if you succeed or fail, you're going to narrate what your character does. I'm going to set up like a loose scenario, and you're going to narrate yourself what your character does. So, for example, if it's Hum coming up to a group of bandits harassing somebody, she could use an intimidation check to be like, "Drop your weapons." And they'll drop, and if she succeeds, they'll drop their weapons, and if not, then she can narrate, what external BS made it so that they didn't drop their weapons, or whatever, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you have your skills, but you also have bonuses inherent to your character that you can use. So let me make a handout. Oh, poop, Miles can't make it. Yeah. Or did I say that already? I think I said that already. So I'll just have to miss this.
Oh, you're right back.
Okay. I'm going to type up a note, so this is like a quasi take 5. Once I'm done explaining, we'll have a take 5. Wait, hold on.
Hey, Mike, did you update the concordance, or do you want me to do that?
I think I did that already. What does it say?
Okay. Is that 29?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Maybe,
Maybe what?
I've got an idea.
Okay, so show to players. Okay, so here are the boosts that you can use for your skill checks. Zachary, you got your superiority dice. You can use them, but you have to declare the use before you roll. Spell slots can be spent before rolled, and it gives you a +5 bonus for a first level, +7 for second. I don't think anybody here has third.
Not yet.
Tadias is not here, but hi. So I was just explaining what boosts you can use for the skill challenge. So spell slots can be used to give a bonus to the roll. You have to declare that you're using a spell slot for this, and then you can, weave it into your story. Somebody's going to have to take over Tadias for this, so I think we already agreed that Justin would, so let me give
Just
that to
got
you.
the accent there better.
The accent there better. He doesn't know the secret class that well, but improvisation, to explain what that is, improvisation is a feature that this homebrew class gets where if they miss an attack roll, they can re-roll. So it's a resource. I don't know if he probably hasn't used it all up yet because it equals his intelligence mod. But you can use that, like if you roll low and I'm like, it fails, you can be like, oh, improvisation and re-roll. So he can use that resource. Peril, her key points can grant 3 times how many points she spends after a roll. Bardic Inspiration can be used. You don't have to be like bonus action to use it. You can just be like, I'm going to use Inspiration. Help from Halflings means the Lanad, Norbel, and their crew of Halflings that are sort of, that underground protectorate force of Rolid. You can use a +5 bonus in the entire challenge 3 times, but only in the site where you're around town, not in the keep. I didn't write. I thought I wrote a limit to this. Well, the limit for help from the Rolid Watch, that plus D10 bonus is once. Once in the outer Rolid area, and once in the keep. And then Illyria, Valora can help with intimidation checks or an attack roll. So basically grant advantage, but only where you are. So she can help anyone, but you have to be there since she pals around with you.
She's a panther.
Yeah, editing that. Now it's her name.
Spell-like abilities. You want that to act the same way as spells?
Are you talking about Burning Hands?
No, I'm thinking about Earth Tremor.
Oh, yes, they can. They do.
Okay.
And another rule is you can only use an attack roll or a certain skill once in the challenge. And
Okay.
you can stack your resources. So if you want to be like, I'm going to use a superiority dice and a spell, you can do that. It'll
Okay.
probably...
And it's once per person, right? So, say if Hum tries to intimidate one crowd, I can try to intimidate a different crowd.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. What else do I need to mention? Boosts, the rules. Who wants to do Carahill's rolls? Because she's in this.
I mean, do it if nobody else wants.
I'm sorry, my mouth is full. I can do Carahill.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing that Tadias and Zachrael are going together because Justin is running both of them.
Sure. I mean, you know.
Well, it makes no difference to me. I was kind of thinking that.
I was thinking
the dice would split up as we're both.
Right.
Strength.
Tankies.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Zachrael and Illyria together would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So a little bit of more role play before you guys decide where you're going. As Lanad is explaining all of this to you, Zachariel, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you know instantly that it's Floriana, and she says, "Let me help. I can help you."
I will accept your help with anything. You know that.
She gives a smile, and she looks back, and you kind of follow her direction, and you can see that Sihara is holding hands with Nerine, and it looks like Nerine is going to take care of her.
Okay.
So I wrote something for this. Where did it go? Oh, her spell slots are available to use as bonuses. So whoever she goes with, her spell slots will be available for checks and attack rolls to buff up the roll.
Okay.
So whoever she goes with, that's how it'll operate. Okay, I think... Does anyone have questions? I understand this is a brand new mechanic. I'm spitting onto you, so feel free to ask for assistance.
I think I'm gonna have to see it played because I think I understand it.
Okay. And you can definitely ask questions as we go along. And I had a feeling. I mean, the way I, expected the plan in my brain, I kind of figured that this would take most of the session. So we're going to head back to the stream page and do that, and I'm going to zoom out and do that. Okay. So. Okay. Who's going where?
So, who's all grouped? Did we get that yet?
You did not tell me or decide where. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to drag her token. Her token. Okay. What was your question?
Oh, So who's going with who?
So go ahead and whoa, there we go.
Why don't we do Jedias, Hum, Peril, and then myself, Valeria, and Floriana.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so that's your group. So just so that I can. Okay, so we're going to use these thingies that I made specifically for this. Okay, so out of that group, who's going where?
I think. Well, I don't really care, but I think that Zachary would head right for the militia, like the keep.
Okay.
But does anyone have a better idea or a different idea?
Should we do small groups first, kind of weed them out? Or is it better just to get right in there?
Well, okay, so this mechanic that I'm having you guys use. It's very abstract, and you're going to basically win by rolling well and using your class resources smartly. I'm just going to say that, she's a companion. So the plan that you're thinking of is what you can have as your little story for whenever you succeed at a roll, you know what I mean? So I just need to know where these two groups are going. And so I remember, right? So it was going to be Illyria and...
Illyria, Zachariel, and Floriana were going to head toward
the keep. Keep. And then the other, you guys were going to go around town. Got it. Okay, let me move this here. Okay, cool. All right. So with that in mind, we'll cut back into the fiction with Lanad just sort of looking very stressed out with this whole situation, saying, there's a big group of them going into the keep, and then another group marauding around town, probably hurting innocents. He says, we need help everywhere.
Well, we're going to split up. Who's going with who?
Jedias, Hum, and Peril, why don't you head into town to try to help the guards rally and save the living quarters. Myself, Valeria, and Floriana will head towards the keep and try and help defuse the situation there.
All right, I'm with you.
Let's plan on meeting up at the Blessery Brew then.
All right.
Tadice is like, you got it. He's probably like, I'm gonna need a drink after this.
Me too.
All right, so you guys split up. We'll go right down the line. Zachariel, Floriana, and Illyria start going down the road toward the keep. Meanwhile, Carhill, Tadias, and Lanad and Hum, these guards are going into town. You guys can flavor this however you want. You guys can move your tokens wherever you want to go, and just tell me what you're doing. There's danger everywhere, so you can use your imagination and create scenarios within reason.
Okay, we're gonna take a break first, though, right?
Yes, we are. So let's take 5.
Thank you.
And then if any questions come about in your brain. Do-do-do. All right. So let me move the markers. Why can't I grab the circle? Oh wait, is everything mixed up again? Alright. So, Peril. So you guys rush into the town. I'll just give you a scenario. You see a bunch of water cult initiates sort of breaking into this building, and they start to wreak havoc, and people inside are screaming, and what are you doing? And then one of them says, "Shut up!" Blah blah blah. Peril. Oh, actually, let me make sure I have this right, which I should have done before. Okay. I'm color coding something so that I know which is which. Okay. What does Peril do to help? Actually, use the skill first, and then we'll narrate what she does.
Okay, what skill is Carrick-Hill going to use? I'm trying to get used to Carrick-Hill's page, sorry.
That's okay. It's a little touch and go, I understand.
So, what is he doing?
So, the example I set ahead was you guys get to a shop in the market district, and these brigands are breaking and entering and breaking shit, and people inside are screaming, and one of them is threatening violence. So, you just need to basically take one of her skills, probably the one with the highest modifier, or some of the highest modifiers, and just explain, how she uses it to help with the situation. And it can be an attack.
Okay.
It can be an attack roll too, but you can only use an attack roll once in the challenge per character.
So,
You know what?
I think she's going to use her stealth and try to get between him and anybody else who's around her.
All right, sounds great.
It did not roll. Why did it not roll?
I do not know. Hopefully, it'll roll in a second. Is her sheet borked?
I have her sheet open. Am I able to use anything with her?
Okay, well, I'll roll for you. Let me see if it works from my end. Oh, it's because it's prompting you. Hold on.
Oh, okay, I see now.
So this will be normal. Attack roll? Is that what you intended?
No, it's not.
Okay, so
There we go.
unfortunately,
Her stealth failed.
she is picked up on, and the angle that she was trying to employ doesn't happen to work. Copy. Oh, she's full on key points, by the way. So that is a fail, unfortunately. Next is you, Hum. You see all of these somebody's in trouble. You see or an innocent person's in trouble. They're messing around with stuff. Some guards are fighting. What does Hum do to improve the situation?
Hum is actually going to use her intimidation to see if she can get them to stop.
All right. Are you going to use anything to help you? You have to declare it, at least for spell slots. You have to declare it before you do it.
She's going to actually pull out her rapier and point it towards them and intimidate them.
All right. All right. That is a success. So, how does she succeed? What happens?
So Hum pulls up next to Carahil, who has fallen over and gotten their attention, and she says, "We're here now, and we're going to hurt you if you do not stop right now and get the hell out of our town."
And some of the one or two of the initiates sort of just, oh shit, okay, and he drops his scimitar and he just starts bolting. What does the dice do?
Quick game question.
Sure.
Action economy matter here? Like if I want a bonus action before the action?
What do you bonus
It's for what's the situation? Are these people like standing outside a building? Is there anything overhead?
Make it up.
All right. Well, the idea is with his keen observation, he's going to see if there was like a sign hanging or something. He would throw Rezier to make it fall.
Sure. Is this a perception check then, or?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's part of the skill challenge. There you go.
All right.
All right. That's a success. So what happened? Narrate what happens.
So, as to Hum is intimidating the few, and they start dispersing. Tadias, with his keen senses, looks around and sees a sign slightly hanging, and throws Rezier with a backspin, so the handle hits the sign and falls down on top of one of the other ones.
So, when that happens, we'll say that in the confusion, some more of them sort of run and take off to another location. With the distraction, a couple of the guards come in and start handling a couple more of them, and Lanad comes in and just shanks one of them, and they just fall over dead. And it seems like this area is mostly handled. We shift our perspective to that of the keep. Zachriel, Illyria, and Floriana approach, and they can see sort of the outside actually seems to be empty, except there is one of the entrances is blasted open, and the water is soaking wet. Or not the water, the ground is soaking wet with water. And you enter the keep, and you can see guardsmen that are unarmored, and guardsmen, and a couple guardsmen that are armored, fighting for their lives against these brigands, and a couple of the more stronger guys, the reavers with the shark tooth longswords, having at them. What does Illyria do to help the situation?
Oh my.
So there's all this chaos going around. You're inside of a keep, and there are people fighting, and some of them aren't. It seems like they were roused from essentially the barracks. What do you do? Basically, pick a skill and then craft a story around how you use that skill to assist.
So this group here, is that outside or inside too?
It's just an illustration. So it's just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that there's some dead bodies outside before we were going in.
Yeah, one of them is a guardsman, and there's two of them that are those initiates. And by the way, you can use Valora's skills too. So you can choose from your skill pool or from her skill pool. So in this case, you have a big boon as Beastmaster because you have a lot of options. Are you alright, next?
Oh gosh, I
Are you?
have no idea what to do.
Just be creative. How is Illyria or Valora a badass? What do they do to help? Would you like a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Um, could say that you use perception and one of your more magical abilities to aid you to search for some opportunistic or some opportunity to like um, make something fall over on a bunch of baddies, something like that. There's like a big weapon stand that's propped up a bit too high, and a bunch of crushing wave reavers underneath it fighting, and you see the perfect opportunity or something, or you look for something like that. You know, actually, this will be a case where you have to succeed the roll to find said thing, but that's an example.
Okay.
Or you can use one of Valora's skills. She's got... I mean, she's got pretty good perception and stealth herself. So.
Oh, that would work. Like what you said. Hopefully, have something fall on them. She could like stealth over and make it fall on them.
Sure. Okay. So, why don't you? Okay. So for this, it sounds like you want to do a perception check. Either you or Valora can make the check, and you can decide now. You have to decide now if you're going to use a spell slot to aid the check. I don't know if you have any spell slots left, but that's what I wrote in the rules. So.
Well, we had a short rest, didn't we?
You didn't, but you get your spell slots back at a long rest.
Even though I would have done a trance.
Oh wow!
Trance is 4 hours.
It did take you more. Okay, elves. Okay, yeah, sure. You have all your spell slots back. Actually, you're 100%. Fucking elves. Okay. No, yeah, Illyria's 100%. She actually had the benefits of a long rest while you guys made your way over. Amazing. Elves. Okay. That in mind, what do you do?
I would get her to... Well, you said we have to roll for perception.
I said that you have to roll a skill. You choose the skill. You also choose whether or not you're going to spend a spell slot to aid the check.
No, I'm not going to spend a spell slot.
Okay.
So just a regular perception?
Yep.
And it would be Valora that I can do?
Either her or, either her or Illyria. Okay. So I'll educate this for you, narrated. Valora, as you guys enter, Valora sort of looks around and sees a sort of weakness in the in like a table or shelving, and Valora kind of nuzzles Illyria's hand and kind of growls and gestures over to it. So that's a success. I need to get out of these character sheets. Well done. Please move. Why is it down here that I can't? Oh my god. Okay. Zachariel, what are you doing?
Do myself and Floriana act at the same time?
Yep, pretty much. You can if you want.
All right.
You can use her aid. You probably can use her. Yeah, go ahead.
They're both going to run forward. Zachar is going to use a superiority die and Earth Tremor from the spade to do an intimidation, and at the same time, Floriana is going to use a Thunder Wave with Careful Spell, Meta Magic, to not hit the guards as like a bonus to him.
Awesome. So you guys come in with this force of magical might. So the bonus is going to be 5 plus, so plus 10. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
So, alright. I'll just roll it from here. Intimidation, not very good.
Okay,
that was from my sheet.
That was from your sheet, so that's plus 10, so that's 14, and you have your superiority die?
Superiority die, yep.
Alright. You just succeed. So, it seems like the, you just succeed, so how does it go down? I have to put it on you.
So, Zachariel and Floriana run up in tandem. Zachariel takes the shovel, spins it around, and slams it into the earth on an angle. As the ground begins to rumble and rupture, Floriana releases a thunder wave right next to him, and everyone watches as the force of the spell weaves around the guards, hitting the Reapers.
They all sort of fly back. Ah!
And Zachariel shuts out, "Enough!"
And you see one of the initiates who aren't as strong as the Reavers, kind of like, ah! And he like his knees knock together, and like he kind of just runs away. We shift back to Tadias and Hum and Carahil, along with Lanad and a couple guards as they're sweeping through the streets. They move on and they see some Crushing Wave Reavers attacking guardsmen, and it looks like the guardsmen are having a tough time, along with a couple of bandits sort of dragging out innocent people out of their homes, and it looks like they're threatening them with daggers. What does Carahil do to help the situation?
So Carahil is going to use her insight to see who seems to be the leader of the group, to see if she's going to use her Hellish Rebuke on him.
All right. Is that, are you going to use that spell with the roll?
Yes.
All right.
So she's trying to figure out who the leader is, and she's going to use Hellish Rebuke against him.
All right. So that's that plus that. So that's 7 plus another 7. All right.
14.
14. Unfortunately, that is a fail, as it seems like it's getting a little tougher. The DCs get harder. It seems like she can't make out who the leader of this particular group is, as she is sideswept, and she casts her Hellish Rebuke on some bandit who just wimulates and just crumples, but it seems that the situation hasn't been helped as much as you would have hoped. What does Hum do?
Hum is going to try to use her persuasion to convince them that this is a really bad idea.
All right. And that is a success from Hum. What does she say?
She says, I know you don't want to die tonight. I know you'd rather live to see another day. Leave the city now, or there'll be hell to pay.
And there's this moment of quiet as they all kind of look at each other. And you see one of the Reavers just kind of go, yeah. And he just kind of starts walking away. And as they're
she's going to...
Go on.
She's going to use her Thunder Wave on everybody who's left.
Okay, you can save that for your next check.
Oh, okay.
Because we're in, like, narrative time right now.
Okay,
the way I have the rule set up. But I love it. And I will also say, as they start to, like, kind of, like, briskly walk away, one of the guards hurls his spear and just nabs him right in the neck. And one of the bandits just kind of, like, fucks off because they're cowards. What does Thaddeus do?
What's left in the group here?
We'll say that there's a couple more. Maybe we'll
Is there
say
a Reaver?
There's a Reaver, and we'll say like down the street he hears a scream, but we'll save that for like the next round.
All right. So, with the knowledge that there is a Reaver there, based on his past encounters with them, you'd like to use kind of draw on his intellect. So maybe a history or investigation to get in there with the shark sword and make a quick slice at the torso.
All right, sounds good. Is he using any? Is he using any resources?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So would that be history or would that be investigation for the precise strike? I think history because he's done it before.
Sure.
All right.
All right. That is a success. As he strikes in and he knows the exact angle to approach because they're unarmored. He knows the exact angle to approach. They don't see it coming. And the whole group sort of disbands, and some run some way, some run another way. Some guards say, "We'll get these guys," and they run after them. You hear more commotion coming from down the street.
He will head that direction, I guess.
All right. As we shift perspective back into the keep, the fighting goes on. Zachriel and Floriana taking down initiates, engaging with Reavers. We catch up with Illyria and Valora. Illyria had just been pointed out from Valora that there's an unstable shelving right above where some Reavers are fighting. What does she do?
Okay, so I know what Valora is getting to, so I edge her on to go kind of south behind the shelving or whatever.
All right.
And she's gonna lean into it and push it over.
All right. If she succeeds, so you can spend resources to make the check better if you want. The DC is harder.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna need some help there, I guess.
Okay. So you use some of your ranger magic to sort of enshroud her in even more shadows than she already is. So go ahead and make your roll, your stealth check.
For Valora, right?
She's the one sneaking, so yeah. All right. She succeeds with flying colors. She sneaks behind the shelving. It's full of helmets and armoring, and she just sort of like nudges it and just falls over, and you hear this crash as these reavers are just pinned beneath it. One of them out cold, the other one sort of struggling.
Okay, I want. Can I get Laura to kind of jump on the fallen?
Yeah, she totally does.
The fallen shelf, and then, she's looking at this guy struggling, and just like that, she'll go for the throat.
She goes through the throat, and she gets the kill, tears it out.
Yeah.
Her muzzle covered in blood as she just looks around for new prey. Some of them are discouraged and sort of drop their guard. A couple of the guardsmen and a couple of swordsmen that you can tell are sort of more experienced or more veteran-like come in, and they slice at these intruders.
I yell out, "She's got a taste for blood now, boys. You better run."
All right, so that was a success. Zachriel. Whoa.
What would the bonus be for using a cantrip? Is there one?
No. Because
Okay.
it's not a resource.
I'm still going to do it anyway because it sounds cool to me.
Sure thing.
So Zachriel is going to use his athletics, using his shield master, his experience with the shield, to run down the hallway and try to pin some of them against the wall, like with a shove. And as he takes off running, Floriana is going to cast Shocking Grasp on his shield as he runs forward.
So she energizes her shield. I love it. Go ahead and roll.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
With her reaching out and touching the shield, can I use her GM inspiration?
Sure.
All right.
All right. That is just enough to pass. So you barrel through the hall. One guy's like, "What?" and he just kind of and gets jammed against the hall. And as you sort of advance, you hear. Why can't I grab this one? You hear a sort of a loud coming from up the stairs, and you hear people sort of screaming and a loud commotion as you hear what is most definitely the same sort of whooshing, wintry sound of a sleet storm. The same spell that one of the Crushing Wave priests caught you and your group in a couple days ago in the on the path back to Rolid.
All right.
So let me put this guy there. There we go. All right, and we shift back up to the party along the city streets. So, situation is mostly the same as what you've been uncovering. Reavers and initiates wreaking havoc, breaking things. You see a woman grabbed by the collar and just tossed to the ground, generally making a muck of things. Guards engaging, some of them getting hurt. What does Carahel do?
Carahel, seeing the woman be hurt, and with her sense of need to take care of others, uses acrobatics to run in and flip in, and she's going to use an unarmed strike and a flurry of blows on the gentleman who hurt the woman.
Got it. So she's going to use acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That is enough. So she jumps in, flips in, and just knocks the person over who is about to attack this defenseless woman. And I'm going to say, for the fun of it, she swings her tail around and whacks another dude and falls to the ground. What's Hum doing?
Hum is going to... She's already used her intimidation. She's going to use her performance to really act up how angry she is. And then she's going to, really play it up quite a bit to see if that will help intimidate people.
Okay.
And if it works, she will also use her rapier against someone.
All right. Okay. You doing anything to buff that? Okay.
No.
All right. Unfortunately, it's not enough. As it seems people are just sort of not really taking you as seriously as you'd hope with that performance. People are coming into, or it seems you're not drawing much attention to yourself, although one bandit comes in and tries to swipe at you, but you manage to parry and stab right through the gut. What's the dice doing?
Tadias is going to... he already used his wings earlier, so... that. So the one that just approached Hum, he is going to... Yeah, you know what? He's going to use his Tavern Brawler feature. I don't know if that applies to this, but we'll see.
I'll use it for the story.
And he's going to attempt to make a... He's going to Tavern Brawler and use his bonus action dash to... going to do like a power slide and kick the guy out from underneath him with athletics.
Yeah.
You will try that. And he's going to improvise that.
So he kind of stumbles a little bit before you can get into the slide. And then
he rolls over and...
Wow. He rolls over, and unfortunately, as he rolls over, someone catches him and strikes down with a dagger, but he manages to parry it. His maneuver sort of ruined. We'll get back to the result of that. But we shift back to the keep. Zachriel and Floriana hear the telltale sounds of spellcasting.
All right. Zachriel's not.
What about?
Oh yeah.
What about Illyria?
But it is Illyria's turn first. Illyria, you're down there. You can see that the tide of battle is is mostly in the favor of the guardsmen. Even the ones that were here on watch or here using the barracks as their place to lay their head, who are unarmored, fighting for their home, basically. What do you do? I should mention you can. I did mention this a lot, but I will re-mention that you can also use attack rolls.
Well, we gotta help them out.
So what do you do? In the chaos of this battle, as you're sort of standing, probably near the entrance though, because you didn't flavor that you were moving anywhere. Unless you do.
Shit, can Zachriel go first? I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Bye. You're back.
All right. Zachriel and Floriana, what do you guys do?
So Zachriel and Floriana are running up the stairs. Is the sleet storm right at the top of the stairs?
As you go up the stairs, you can feel sort of the cold air blast toward you, and you when you get up to the top, you do see the sort of similar weather condition. Like this whole what looks like sort of a meeting hall is just filled with ice and snow.
Okay, Zachriel is going to attempt something. He's going to attempt to use Burning Hands to try and like clear a path through the ice.
I love it.
So Burning Hands.
So that's a +5 to your check, and then what else are you doing?
And Floriana's going to come behind him. kind of hard to do in the moment, but if she can see the source of the storm, like someone standing in the middle per se, she's gonna cast Whole Person.
All right. So you get up here, and it's hard for her to see, but actually, she sort of peers through behind you, and you look up into this hall, and there's like sort of this platform in the top, and she just whispers in Zachriel's ear, and she says, "It's Drosnin. I know it is. He's up there." She points with her finger.
All right. What do you want me to roll for those?
Well, those are bonuses. So if you're both using spell slots, then it's going to be with the Burning Hands and the Hold Person. It's going to be a plus 12 to the check.
Okay.
Which you'll definitely need.
Zachary will try to, with the aid of all that, I guess the only thing I have is perception to try and aim the spell towards where he is.
I'll remind you again, you can use an attack roll.
Oh, I haven't attacked yet. Well, I'll use a javelin.
All right.
And she will...
You said Hold Person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
Perfect. All right. So I will use the attack roll.
So that's
plus 12?
Yeah, so that's 29, which is a success. All right.
So Zachary runs up to the top of the stairs and with one hand casts the Burning Hands as he hears a whisper in his ear, moves his hand up in that direction and readies a spear. Or chucks the spear, I guess.
And he melts the ice away with Burning Hands, clears the path as you advance.
Yeah, so all around the javelin is ice, but this flame is pushing through with the spear tip coming right behind it.
Hell yeah. Alright. What is Lyria doing?
Can you remind me of my surroundings again?
Okay, so from what the story we've told so far is that Valora is pretty much chewing on this one cultist these couple cultists that she crushed with this shelving full of armor, and all around you there's fighting going on between guards that are unarmored. Some of them look like more veteran swordsmen against these cultists, and from where you are, one of them sort of takes notice and wants to attack you, but is like in combat with another person. What do you do?
I noticed he's looking at me, so I'm going to shoot at him.
Yeah.
Now, you said Laura can assist in the attack roll?
She can. I believe I said that. I said she could assist with an intimidation check.
Or an attack roll.
Or an attack roll, yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright. I won't go back on what I said. So then you can grant yourself advantage. Oh, yeah. Once per round. Okay. So you can grant yourself advantage.
So I'm going to notice this guy giving me the evil eye, and I don't hesitate, but shoot.
Alright. So, got 21. So, your arrow strikes true, and you begin to rain arrows down on these fools. Unfortunately, actually, yeah, wait. Oh no, yeah, okay. So you didn't pass, but we're at that point now where the skill challenge is complete. The party members in the keep, yours was a total success, and for the ones in town, yours was a partial success. Actually, did somebody? No. Okay. So that means. So let me narrate this. So both of these areas, you guys are going around and helping people and fighting, seeming to clear away a lot of the cultists. Some of them are running, some of them are on the ground dead. Illyria shooting at a bunch of Reavers, knocking them down with Valora at her side. You hear the commotion from upstairs, and your attention sort of snaps up there, and one of the guards shouts out, "We've got things handled here. You can help them up there. They have some strange spellcaster up there." Do you join Zachriel? Illyria?
Yes.
All right. So you run up the stairs with Valora at your side, into this meeting hall, and so 2 encounters. So let me set that up. Take 5. We'll do these encounters, and that'll be the session.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead and take 5. Go to the bathroom if you need to. Okay, just set this up. Oh, 1 encounter. Because I said total success. Okay. Alright, I am ready.
I'm back.
Anyone else out?
Still here.
I'm here.
Okay. Alright,
It's thirsty.
for Wata. Okay, so, total success in the keep as you guys begin taking down cultists. You get to the top, and the scene you see is Drosten, and you guys end up taking out all of his cronies, and now the total success reward is, I'm going to ask you how you finish him off, but would you rather have a combat with him?
Honestly, up to you, Illyria. Would you like to fight him, or?
Do you want to just narrate how you kick his ass?
I honestly feel like that one javelin coming out of the storm and just piercing his heart is poetic, but
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you get to the top, you see this spellcaster, this priest of the cult of the crushing wave, sort of harassing guards with some reavers who are fighting for their lives. Zachariel did all that stuff we said before. He throws a javelin and right through his heart, and the storm just sort of stops, and he sort of falls down. And you watch as a couple of expert-looking sword fighters and guardsmen clean up in the keep. Meanwhile, roll initiative. Tadias, Carhill, and Hum.
Okay.
oops.
I will take control of Carhill for this.
Thank you. I thought I was doing a great job with Carahel.
Wait, who did I give Carhill to?
To me.
Oh, I mean, it's just because... it's just because I didn't want you to have to control two characters.
It's fine. No, that's fine.
You can control her if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Alright, momentito. What the hell? There we go. So you have the help of some guards with you, and what they do is they'll basically do the help action with you every turn.
Ooh.
Alright. So let me roll initiative for these guys and Carhill.
No goop for that one?
What was that? What'd you say?
Nothing. I was being silly. I said no bloop for that one.
Oh. I must have forgotten. Carhill is much faster than Bandit. So, the DM will proceed to play with himself as Carhill. Carhill will probably be Carhill and advance a couple feet and draw her short bow at one of the bandits and take a shot at him. She hits for that much damage, right in the shoulder, as he goes, ah! And it is his turn, and he's going to advance upon her and try to hit her with his scimitar, and does hit her, dealing 7 damage. This crushing wave, Reaver, the one with purple, they are going to advance up to here, and they're going to pick up a piece of debris and hurl it at Hum, just sort of angrily, as you notice. But it's 6 to hit, as it just sort of goes
It
wide.
misses.
Hum, is your turn.
So Hum is going to move forward right up next to this Reaver, and she is going to cast Thunder Wave.
In which direction?
It's a cube, originating from my point of origin,
So
15 feet.
I know, but you could do it. You could do it this way, or you could do it this way. Are you doing it this way?
Yes.
All right. So you make saves. Go ahead and key the spell for me.
Okay, there we go.
All right, they both fail. So this one takes 7 damage. And this one, the bandit sort of just flies back and crumples in a heap. This one flies back 15 feet and is prone. All right, Tadias. Or is there anything else Hum wanted to do?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
All right. So Tadias, he doesn't have weapon fighting, does he? No.
He has the skirmisher fighting style.
Okay, so he can pull out.
He can pull out 2 weapons he can pull out a thrown weapon as part of the attack. Yeah.
All right. So he's gonna run up to this Reaver and slash at her with the shark longsword.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh god. Okay, so that's 4d8 plus his strength. Jeez. What does that put together? Oh,
20.
not very,
okay.
not very good. For it.
He gores her and just like doesn't cut her in half because it's like not of like a fine blade, but just gores her and she just crumples in a bloody mess.
And then he's gonna throw Razier at the one behind him.
All right. That's a hit.
9.
9 piercing. Okay. This bandit is going to run up. Whoa! Is going to run up to Hum, and is going to try to slash at her. Ooh, 20 to hit for 6 slashing.
Hits.
This one runs. Where can they go? This one runs up to Tadias after seeing their friend collapse in a heap. Not that you needed it, but you had advantage because she was prone. They were prone.
Oh.
But they advance after, like, as you're like pulling, as Tadias is like pulling the sword back. They're running up to him and trying to swipe at him with her own gross shark tooth sword. 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. 10 slashing.
Okay.
This one's going to run up to Tadias and try to hail on him. And these two, the ones that are marked in red, they don't have shields. They are wielding their weapons two-handedly.
Okay.
They run up and try to take a swipe at him. 23 to hit.
That hits.
For 6 slashing.
Alright.
This bandit is going to join his friend and try to beat up on poor old Hum. And he gets a +2 bonus. 22 to hit.
It hits.
2 slashing.
Ouch.
Carrie Hill is going to look between her 2 companions, unknowing what to do, and she looks at one of the guardsmen and says, "Come with me!" And they follow her and sort of distract this one bandit. She gets flanking at advantage, and she's going to Hail Mary on him with her unarmed strikes. 23 to hit for 7 bludgeoning. And then she's going to attack again as the DM plays with himself. Nope, misses. Alright. That one's dead. This one gets over here, trying to beat up on Tadias. Going to... 17 to hit.
That would hit, but he's going to cast Shield as a reaction, so luminous barrier of light surrounds him.
All right. That misses them, so it's Hum's turn.
Hum is just going to stab at the gentleman right in front of her. The first one that hit her. This first one here.
All right.
With her rapier.
Okay. The guard's with you, so you can give yourself advantage. He's fighting alongside of you, distracting him with his spear. That is a hit. All right.
Oh.
And he is not looking good at all. You stab him right through the gut, and he can barely hold his scimitar. It's Tadias' turn.
Alright, Tadias is going to slash at the one to his right with the shark sword.
All right. Okay. He hits. Ooh, wow. Does a lot of damage. And just blood starts pouring down their body as he slices it with this very gnarly, jagged sword.
He'll, as a part of that attack action, he'll chuck a dagger at this guy.
All right.
That's disadvantage or straight roll?
It's disadvantage because it's a ranged attack while you're in melee with somebody.
Yeah.
That's still a hit, and he strikes in, and he sees Hum being harassed, and right as she pulls out her rapier, and he kind of stumbles, a dagger goes right into his neck, and then just kind of pulls out and flies back to his belt.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, well, he's like, kind of like dodging swords on either side. He slashes forward, and then with his other hand does that underhand throw, where it just kind of like lobs the dagger towards him.
Yeah. So he's dead, so it's not his turn, because he's dead. This one that he severely wounded just sort of grunts through the pain and raises the sword. And the grievous wound hampers them way too much and is an 8 to hit. But on the other side, this one's going to try to avenge, or at least just get some blood in. And they say, "Spill your water!" 23 to hit, as it crashes into his back, dealing 10 slashing. This bandit is going to turn around, looks and sees the situation, and kind of loses his lunch and starts to run. Tries to duck into an alley. You may make opportunity attacks. Carol's going to make an
Awesome.
Alright. You don't have advantage, but that 18 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. So Carol kind of gives him a good knuckle punch in the kidney as he just kind of like leans back. He leans back, exposing his neck to Hum.
Oh, am I killing him?
Yeah, why not?
So she takes her rapier and stabs him through the neck, hitting his carotid and his larynx.
Yeah. And he just kind of crumples to the ground. On Carahill's turn, she turns around and just sidesteps over here and tries to hit this one with her tail. And hits her. Dealing. So Carahill sweeps her tail and knocks this individual unconscious with a head trauma wound, and it's enough to... obviously, they can't care for their injuries, and they start to bleed out on the ground. It is Hum's turn.
Hum is going to run over... Run over here and stab at this one with her rapier.
Alright, you have advantage.
Advantage.
That's a hit. For 10 piercing. It is not enough to kill,
Yes.
but it definitely wounds him egregiously. It is Tadias' turn.
So, Jediah sees that this one is hurting, and with the guard doing his best to distract, he takes the sharp-toothed sword and grasps it with both hands as he swings at the midsection.
Yeah. Roll damage. That is a hit. He hears bone crack and shatter as he just cleaves into this individual, and just this nasty, bloody mess crumples to the ground. The dust starts to settle.
I could really use a drink.
We should go get one. We do have to meet them at the Blustery Blue.
So the dust starts to settle as you gave the shot in the arm the militia needed. They start cleaning up the rest of the running around bandits. And in the keep, they start to sort through the mess and clean up as the moon is high in the sky. You see Tadias kind of look up at it and then kind of give a sigh of relief. You look up at the moon and you see that it's at a quarter. That's the half moon. And we will resolve the rest of this next week, because I'm pretty sure that Miles will want to be here for the sweet RP.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
For the drinking RP.
For the drinking RP, the best part of D&D is role playing that you're drinking. So thanks everyone for tuning in, if anyone's tuning in at all, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks for bearing with us with our shorthandedness. Good night.
Thank you very much for coming.
Nice.
Good night.